everything is going woke. Everything is going crazy. Stonewall, you've probably all heard of this story over the last couple of days. This organization that tells companies and apparently now the government departments how to be woke and how to have diversity targets and tick boxes sorted. And now they are now telling people to drop the word mother and replace the word mother with parent who has given birth. 5 words to replace 1 word. At least when I think it was one of the universities in the country, it came up with the replacement word, guardian. If you're going to go work, at least be efficient. Replacing the word mother with guardian, I could tolerate that. Well, I can't, but if I had to. 5 words to replace 1 word makes absolutely no sense. But these guys, jokes aside, are so ridiculous with their diversity wokeness that they are completely destroying the culture. They've infiltrated our institutions. Corporations are listening to them. You've got obviously government departments. This is why they're crossing the red line now. Government departments are now being advised employees how to actually they have to remove all gendered language and allow those who self-identify as a woman to use female toilets and changing rooms. Now, the Minister of Justice have already decided to go ahead with removing all gendered language. So they use non-gendered language in their internal documents, and they don't even use the word mother or father. Weird. And then you got the Home Office, MI6, the British Army, the Department for International Trade, the Government Legal Department, and the House of Commons, who are also part of Stonewall's Workplace Equality Index. This is no longer a laughing matter in that sense, because you now have government departments, the establishment, who are supposed to be small c conservative because they are there to protect our culture and our system. They have completely bowed down. Now, luckily, we have some people who are still fighting back. People like Liz Truss, who has now come out to push back and say that the government needs to completely remove Stonewall and their idiotic advice out of politics. They don't belong into our system. And she's absolutely right. Liz Truss is very good. She knows how to be a good enough liberal progressive, obviously small L liberal progressive, but not up to a point where it's actually damaging our culture and our everyday behavior. This is a fascinating time, of course, because they're all going crazy. Even the police. We just said MI6, the British Army, they've gone woke. So what do you expect from the Met? Now, the Met went woke a while ago with their rainbows and unicorns and kneeling and everything else. They've just tweeted, because it's June, you have to paint rainbows everywhere. That's what happens. It's the Christmas for rainbows. Now, the Met tweeted this: "We stand with Black, Asian, and minority ethnic #LGBT plus people and queer people of color." What? I thought the whole thing was supposed to be in the LGBT, and then you have to add queer people of color to fight against racism. What's that got to do with racism? If they really cared about the minorities, if they really cared about Black people, then they would try to stop them from getting stabbed in the streets of London. That would be a good start if the Met really cared about the minorities. If the Met really cared about citizens of this country generally, again, they would try to focus on arresting criminals rather than tweeting nonsensical stuff that no one really cares about, apart from people in Oxford and Cambridge. This is so stupid that there are important problems right now in the country. There are crises happening, bad decisions from the establishment. No one is focusing on that. For example,